Hello, let's paint some Steel Legion miniatures or Deathcore. We could use these miniatures for both. That's some resin miniatures, and you could use them for Deathcore or Steel Legion. I started with this guy. First, I use a Tamiya color, dark yellow. This is the same color I use for my German World War II vehicles. You don't, if you use some color like this, you don't have a problem. Just put it on. You don't have to thin it down. That's no problem. If you use some other colors, you probably have to thin them down. My idea is go from big to small. First, we paint the whole miniature, and then goes to the smaller areas. By the way, they are on resin, so I should use a base coat. I didn't, but I'll show you later why I should use one. So, whole miniature. Or I should use a primer, a base coat. Whole miniature I have what color? Next step. For example, this guy. The helmet and the shoulder pouches. I use some field blue from Tamiya. I really like the Tamiya colors. I used this color for the helmet. No, don't care. I paint it over anyway with another color later. For the helmet and his equipment on the back. I could also use this color for the shoulder pouches, but I use some other yellow color for this. Yes. Of course, normally I do this with all miniatures. If you make one step with all miniatures, you can do it very efficient, like a small factory, so you can paint your miniatures very fast. Next step is rubber black. I use this for everything: coats, boots. But in this case, for his gloves, for his respirator or his gas mask equipment. Don't care about the eyes. You can also use later a different glossy black for the eyes. But yes, you can do a lot of things. And these gloves, of course, they are on some rubber-like material too. Of course, the boots. Yeah. Sorry for I try to be in the camera with every step, but it don't do it every time. Yes, something like this. Ah. For the gun, I use some gunmetal. Then the gun look like this. And later I put a little bit of this Grim Dark speed paint over it. There, be a little bit careful, don't get this black on the miniature. And then after this, it look a little bit shiny and a little bit metal, but also black like a weapon. In my opinion, this looks very good. For example, I use this on all weapons. For example, this cultist. And if you have the gunmetal, you can also use the gunmetal for some chipping. Ah, that's a bit too much. Oh, you need only a little bit on your brush. And then you can make some small to look this give this equipment a little bit of damage. Look at this, for example, with this backpack here. For the helmet. Yeah, that's so big. You must be careful. You need only a very little bit of color on the paint or the brush. Use too much, you can remove it. And if you do too much, you can also later just use the other color to remove it. If you something like this, give everything a little bit used look. For his equipment, I use a brownish color. You can do this, in my opinion, this is all hard yellow, but you can use all brownish colors. They're probably better than this. You can also use later the base color if you did some mistakes, but if you are careful, you don't have to. And on the other side, is a small miniature for if you make a small mistake, don't bother too much. And you don't see a lot of them anyway on the battlefield. It's a little bit sad, but that's the way it is. Ah! That's something like this. Next time I use a little bit different color for the shoulder pouches. I think it was this. Green. Just to give it a little bit an accent or something like this. Because the shoulder pouches should, in my opinion, look a bit different because they are from a different metal. So that's the reason why I paint this in a little bit another color. Can do it, but yes, give the miniature some details is always nice. Like this. Also use this color to highlight a little bit on the miniature, for example. These edges. Some higher areas here. But don't go overboard with this. As I said, this is a very small miniature. And if you have paint an army, yes, you have something to do if you want to do this with every your guys. Last step, I use some rendering. Let's do this guy. I use where is it? Where is it? Or some wash. I mean, yes. This speed paint, Platin Blonde. Okay, if you don't like it, the color, you can thin it down for a little bit. Yeah. It's a bit too thick, but just try it. Don't want the color on the flat surfaces, so you can remove it easily, and you want it in the recesses or in the edges. So all of this uniform, don't care. if it's, you can always thin the color down with a little bit of this wash with a little bit of water. If you don't have too much on the miniature, you can always remove it a little bit. First remove it from your brush and then you can remove it from the miniature. That was a little bit the problem why I said you should use a primer, because if I do this a lot on these resin miniatures, I remove the color. That was my problem. Yes, I think this is okay. And if you do this, after this you can also highlight some areas of the miniature. For example, I use this with this guy. Also take some color. And that was this dry brush. That was the step where he loses some of his color and get this this gray come back. But in my opinion, it don't look this bad. Just don't walk too much in a chemical wasteland, and your uniform keeps their color. You can also use this other color a little bit for chipping. Or paint the edges, for example. But yes, in my opinion, don't do too much for this one small miniature. Yes, that's the way I paint my miniatures, and it's, I think, in my opinion, very efficient. I don't do the greatest painter, but you should do one step with all your miniatures and then the next step, and if you do it this way, like I said, a small factory, you are very efficient, and you don't have to open every color every time or put it on the palette or something like this. And yes, that's the way I paint them.